Imagine a world 66 million years in the past. A world of giant ferns and primeval forests. A world ruled by titans. You can feel a tremor in the ground, a deep, rhythmic thud that shakes the very earth. You hear a sound that freezes the blood, a roar that is not just heard, but felt in your bones. And then you see it. The tyrant king steps out of the shadows. Tyrannosaurus Rex. For over a century, its name has been a synonym for terror, the ultimate predator, the monster in our collective nightmares. But was T-Rex just a monster? Or was it something more? Today we peel back the layers of myth to reveal the truth behind the tyrant king. This is the image we all know. The powerful head, the deafening roar, the declaration of absolute dominance. Standing over 4 meters tall at the hips and stretching up to 12 meters long, the T-Rex was a walking mountain of muscle and bone, weighing up to 9 tons. But this immense size wasn't just for show. It was the engine for one of the most efficient predators our world has ever known. To see a Tyrannosaurus move was to witness a paradox of grace and power. Despite its enormous weight, its long, powerful legs allowed it to cover vast distances and, for short bursts, achieve surprising speed. It wasn't a sprinter like some of its smaller cousins, but it was an unstoppable force. Each step was a statement, a tremor that announced its arrival long before it was ever seen. This was an animal built to pursue, to intimidate, and to conquer its territory. But how did it find its prey in this dense, prehistoric world? The T-Rex was equipped with a sophisticated set of tools. Its eyes, unlike those of many other dinosaurs, were forward-facing, giving it excellent binocular vision and depth perception, crucial for a hunter. And its brain had enormous olfactory bulbs, meaning it had a sense of smell that was likely among the best in the entire animal kingdom. It could smell its next meal from miles away, and when it found it, the hunt was on. The battles of the late Cretaceous were clashes of titans, and while the T-Rex was the ultimate aggressor, its prey was far from helpless. A confrontation with a Triceratops was a life-or-death struggle, but the tyrant king had a secret weapon that put it at the top of the food chain: its bite. The skull of a T-Rex wasn't just big, it was a marvel of engineering. It was incredibly thick and reinforced to withstand immense forces. And its teeth, they weren't like the blade-like teeth of other predators. They were thick, conical spikes. Railway spikes designed not just to slice, but to crush bone into splinters. This was its ultimate tool. With a bite force estimated to be the strongest of any land animal in history, the T-Rex didn't just kill its prey, it utterly obliterated it. This power allowed it to hunt the most heavily armored dinosaurs of its time, but a life of constant, brutal hunting is only one part of the story. To truly understand this animal, we have to look beyond the violence and see the creature behind the killer. Did this titan have a softer side? For a long time, scientists imagined the T-Rex as a solitary monster. But modern evidence paints a very different picture. Fossil trackways and bone beds suggest they may have lived in small family groups. And like modern birds, their closest living relatives, they were likely devoted parents. A young T-Rex hatchling was a fragile creature, covered in soft, downy feathers. The survival of the young depended entirely on the protection and care of the adults. The same jaws that could crush the bones of a Triceratops could be gentle enough to protect their offspring from a dangerous world. This was not a mindless monster, but a complex animal with social bonds, driven by the same instinct that drives all life: the need to see the next generation survive. And what about its daily life? An animal of this size spent most of its time not in epic battles, but in simple acts of survival. Conserving energy was key. Moments like these were the reality of the T-Rex's existence. A quiet drink at dawn, a rest in the shade during the midday heat, a constant awareness of its surroundings. It was a life of patience, of waiting, of being a part of the natural rhythm of its environment. But even in these quiet moments, its scale is something that is difficult for our modern minds to truly comprehend. We see the skeletons in museums, but how big was it, really? When you stand a 6-foot-tall human next to a Tyrannosaurus Rex, the reality is staggering. This creature was a true giant. Its head alone was over 1.5 meters long. Its presence would have been overwhelming. A living, breathing creature that redefined our understanding of scale. So, what have we learned? Tyrannosaurus Rex was more than just the villain in a monster movie. It was a highly successful, incredibly powerful, and complex animal that dominated its ecosystem for millions of years. It was a hunter, yes, but it was also a parent. It was a survivor. It was the culmination of millions of years of evolution, a perfectly adapted ruler of its world. A world that was about to vanish in a flash of light from the heavens. The reign of the Tyrant King, and all the dinosaurs, was brought to a sudden catastrophic end. But its legacy is eternal. It continues to capture our imagination, reminding us of a time when our planet was ruled by giants, a time of impossible scale and savage beauty. The Tyrant King may be gone, but its story is forever written in the bones of the earth.